I am Dr. W.B. Gunade from Kamala Nehru Mahavidyalaya, Nagpur. Today we are discussing the solid state and two types of solids, crystalline and the amorphous solid. Solid are the rigid and have definite shape. These solid also possess the definite volume, which is independent of the volume of the vessel, and these solid have higher densities and almost incompressible. These characteristic properties of the solids are due to the interparticle, strong interparticle forces and small interparticle spaces, and also a restricted movement of the solid in the particle in the solid state. So there are two types of solids. One is a crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. Crystalline solid have a regular arrangement of the particle. In case of amorphous solid, they do not have a regular arrangement of the particle. So we are discussing in today's presentation what is solids, what are the types of solids, and then crystalline and amorphous solid, difference between the two types of solids, and after that isomorphism and the polymorphism. So today's topic is the solid state, and in this part number 1 we are discussing the introduction of the solid state, what are the types of solids, crystalline solid, amorphous solids, and after that isomorphism and the polymorphism. So as we know, different types of solids are there. So in case of the solid, we can say that already we have seen that solid have definite volume and also definite shape. Solid also have the higher densities and almost incompressible. These characteristic properties of the solids are due to the strong interparticle forces and small interparticle spaces. Because of the strong interparticle forces and the smaller interparticle voids, the particle in the solid state can only vibrate about their mean position and do not possess transitional motion. In most of the solid, the particles are arranged in orderly fashion. For example, in sodium chloride, each sodium ion is surrounded by 6 chloride ions, and each chloride ion is surrounded by 6 sodium ions. When solid is heated, its particles their particles start vibrating more and more vigorously as the heat is supplied, and the kinetic energy of the particle becomes large to overcome the attractive forces, and they start possessing the translational motion. At this stage we can say that solid changes into liquid state. So solid is converted into liquid state. The temperature at which the solid changes into liquid state at the normal pressure is also known as the melting point of the substance or solid. Melting point of the substance gives an approximate idea about the magnitude of interparticle forces in the solid state of the substance or solid. For example, we can give here sodium chloride has very high melting point, that is 1077 Kelvin, because of strong interparticle forces, that is ionic bonding is there. On the other side, hydrogen has very low melting point because of very weak intermolecular forces, that is van der Waals forces. So here we are discussing, and as we know, there are two types of solids. One is a crystalline solid and the amorphous solids. As we know, solid have the melting point, and melting point we can also define the temperature at which solid and liquid state have the same vapor pressure. And as we know, there are 2-3 questions. What is the melting point definition? Why the different compounds have different melting point? And what are the uses of melting point? So different compounds have different melting point because intermolecular forces are different in different compounds. And melting points are used to know the purity of the compound, and also to identify the compound, unknown compound. So melting point of the solids are very important part, and in this case the solids are mainly two types. crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. So here, what is the crystalline solid? So we can say that crystalline solid is a substance which give an approximate idea about, or the crystalline solid is a substance whose constituent particles possess a regular orderly arrangement. So the solid which have orderly arrangement of the particles is a crystalline solid. Some example of crystalline solids are sodium chloride, which is also known as table salt, sucrose, that is sugar, diamond and quartz. A crystalline solid has a sharp melting point. When crystalline solid is heated slowly, the temperature increases gradually until it reaches the melting point. At the melting point, it liquefies suddenly, and on cooling, the regular geometry of shapes appear again as the solid is formed. The solid, that is crystal, formed have planar surface and characteristic angle between the corresponding faces. Therefore, crystalline solid can be cleaved only along definite plane and on cleavage give a clean cut. So we can say that crystalline solid are considered as a true solid, and when it is cutted, give the regular or clear cut. And crystalline solid have some properties which are shown here. These solid have regularity and periodicity in the arrangement of the constituent particle in the crystalline solid, and ordered arrangement of the particle extend over the large or long range. So there is a regularity and periodicity of the arrangement of the particles. Second point is that crystalline solid have sharp melting point, because it is crystalline, as we know what is melting point. And crystalline solid have sharp melting point. Sharp means when the melting point is 80, for example, then when the temperature reaches 80, it completely melt. So it gives the sharp melting point. That is they melt at a definite temperature, at particular temperature. There is no any range. At particular temperature it gets melt. All crystalline, third point is, all crystalline substances except those having cubic structure are anisotropic. In other words, we can say that their properties like refractive index, thermal, electrical conductivity are different in different direction. For example, of the crystalline solids are ice, salt like NaCl, metal like diamond, graphite, copper, sucrose, quartz, and ceramics are the example of crystalline solid. So very simple, that is two types of solids are there, crystalline and the amorphous. So these are the properties of crystalline solids. Now what is amorphous solid? So we can say that in case of amorphous solid, have no regular arrangement, we can say that an amorphous solid is a substance whose constituent particles do not possess a regular orderly arrangement. This is important point. Some example of amorphous solids are glass, plastic, rubber, starch, and protein. Amorphous solids do not possess long range regularity. In some cases, they may possess small region of orderly arrangement. The crystalline part of the of this amorphous solid are known as the crystallites. An amorphous solid does not have sharp melting point. It undergoes liquefaction over the broad range of the temperature. The amorphous solid do not possess any characteristic heat of fusion. So they do not possess the characteristic heat of fusion. When amorphous solid is cut with the help of sharp edge knife, it gives the irregular cut, but crystalline solid give clear cut, and irregular cut is there in case of amorphous solid. In other words, we can say that amorphous substances are also sometimes known as supercooled liquids. They are also known as supercooled liquids because they possess disorderly arrangement like liquid. Many amorphous solids like glass are capable of flowing. Careful examination of the window panes of the very old houses shows that the panes are thicker at the bottom than at the top because the glass has flowed under continued influence of gravity. The difference between these two, crystalline substance and amorphous substance, also been given here, and some properties of these amorphous solids are here. So first properties: constituent particle in amorphous solid are randomly arranged. The particles do not have long range order structure, but they have short range order. Amorphous solid, second point is, amorphous solid do not have sharp melting point because of the not orderly arranged, and therefore they melt gradually over the temperature interval from range from 80 to 85. In this range they get slowly melt. On heating, amorphous solid gradually and continuously soften and start to flow. So this is the property of this amorphous solid. Third number is, they are isotropic. In other words, we can say that the properties of refractive index, conductivity are all independent of the direction of measurement. They show same magnitude for any property in every direction. So these are the three important properties of the amorphous solid. So we can also discuss here what are the differences between crystalline solid and the amorphous solid, which are shown in the next slide. Before that, see here, crystalline solid is a substance whose particles possess regular orderly arrangement. That we have seen. In case of amorphous solid, is a substance whose constituent particles possess a regular orderly arrangement. So there is no orderly arrangement in case of the amorphous solid. Do not have regular orderly arrangement. And now here is a figure which shows this is the crystalline solid and this is the amorphous solid. In case of crystalline, when we cut with the knife, what is, we get the clear cut. But in case of amorphous solid, when we cut, there is an irregular cut is there. So it is not clear cut. So this is the difference between crystalline and the amorphous solid. And so what is crystalline solid? They have orderly arrangement, regular arrangement, and do not have regular arrangement in case of amorphous solid. So crystalline solid have clear cut when cut with the knife, and in case of amorphous solid, the solid have irregular cut. Now this table shows the difference between two types of solid, crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. So out of 7 points have been given here. So first point of difference between these two is, the first point is internal arrangement of the particle is regular in crystalline, whereas internal arrangement of particle is irregular in case of amorphous solid. So this is the first point. Arrangement is irregular, particles are regular and arrangement is irregular. Second point is, there is a regularity in the external form when crystals are formed. There is a regularity when crystals is formed, there is a regularity. But there is no regularity in the external form when amorphous solids are formed. So this is another point. Third point is, these crystalline solid have sharp melting point, and amorphous solid do not have sharp melting point. And number fourth is, these crystalline solid have characteristic heat of fusion, but amorphous solid do not have characteristic heat of fusion. And number 5 point is, crystalline solid give a regular cut when cut with the sharp edge knife, whereas amorphous solid give irregular cut. Number 6 point is, crystalline solid are regarded as a true solid. Crystalline solid is a true solid, whereas amorphous solid are regarded as a supercooled liquid, also known as pseudo solids. These are the true solid, and amorphous is a supercooled liquid, also known as pseudo solid. And the 7th point is, crystalline solid are anisotropic and amorphous solids are isotropic. Anisotropic means this implies that physical properties like refractive index, conductivity, thermal expansion, all these properties are different in different direction, and this is due to the orderly arrangement of particle. Therefore it is known as anisotropic, whereas amorphous solid have isotropic in nature, and these properties are various physical properties are same in all direction. This is because the random arrangement of the particles. So this is these are differences between crystalline and the amorphous solid. Now in case of crystalline amorphous solid, this is a given. This slide shows we have to identify this arrangement, and these two arrangements are there. We have to identify the arrangement A and B, whether it is crystalline or amorphous. Anyone can say now. We have seen what is crystalline and amorphous. So this is the orderly arrangement of the two particles shown by the two different color. So this is the crystalline solid, and this is the randomly arranged. Therefore it is known as amorphous solid. So this picture clearly shows the arrangement of the particle. So first picture is the first one is the crystalline solid, and this one is the amorphous solid. Because orderly arrangement is there, here is no orderly arrangement of the particle in the solids are there. Now two important terms are there. One is isomorphism and second is polymorphism. So in case of isomorphism, we can say that when isom is same, when two or more substances having same crystal structure, when two or more substances have or solid have same crystal structure are said to be isomorphous. Isom is same. In these substances, the chemical composition has same atomic ratio. Also, in that case, the atomic ratio is same. Examples are given here of isomorphism. Sodium fluoride, magnesium oxide is a pair. These two substances have the same atomic ratio and also have same crystal structure. Another example is sodium nitrate and calcium carbonate. These two substances also have same crystal structure and the same atomic ratio, and therefore these substances are isomorphous pair of the substance and have the same atomic ratio. Ratio is given here 1:1, here 1:1:3. So here and of the constituent particles. And polymorphous are the substances. What is polymorphous? So single substance that exists in two or more forms or crystalline structures is said to be a polymorphous. When single substance exists in a two or more forms or crystalline forms or have crystalline structure are said to be polymorphous. And polymorphous is a substance are formed under different conditions. Example of these polymorphous are calcite and aragonite are the two forms of calcium carbonate. Alpha quartz, beta quartz and cristobalite are three different forms of the silica. So we can say that polymorphism occurring in element is also known as the allotrophy. For example, three polymorphic forms of the carbon are diamond, graphite and fullerene. Diamond, graphite, fullerene are the allotrophs of the carbon, because diamond, graphite, fullerene contain only the carbon, only one element, and therefore these are the polymorphic forms of the carbon. In other words, we can also say that allotrophy. So polymorphism in a substance is single substance but exists in different forms. For example, carbon only, but forms are different. It exists in diamond, also found in graphite, also in fullerene. So these are the different forms of the single substance which is known as polymorphism. So isomorphism and polymorphisms are there in the solids, and this is the slide which shows the structure of the nature of this silica particles. So here this is the cristobalite, and this is the alpha quartz, and this is the beta quartz. So here many crystalline forms like silica are found in the nature. In this form is shown. This is the picture of the three forms of silica: cristobalite, alpha quartz and beta quartz. So these are the polymorphism of the compounds. So in this way, these two important parts are there: isomorphism and polymorphism. So today we have seen what is solids. As we know, there are three states of the matter. solid, liquid and gas. Solid is an important part. Solid have a regular arrangement of the particle, have very little space or void and orderly arranged. So solids are two types, crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. Crystalline solid have some important characteristic and also amorphous solid have important characteristic. We have seen what is the difference between these two type of solids, crystalline solid and the amorphous solid. And another point is the melting point is an important part that we have seen. Melting point is the temperature at which the solid and liquid state have same vapor pressure, and this melting point of the solid are required to identify the solid and also to check the purity of the this compound. So melting point is an important property, and also we have seen what is the isomorphism and the polymorphism. So in the next part we will discuss some properties of the crystalline solid and the amorphous solids.